Battle of the Bluegrass is underway, and the tap's controlled by Kentucky. Comes to Cauley Stein.
The Bluegrass State is also the basketball state. The University of Kentucky specifically has some of the most loyal and incredibly supportive fans all around the country. Not only are they just fans, though, they are also those who love to play the game. On campus alone, there is always a basketball game to jump into and play. The love of the game is not only evident through so many playing, though, but also it is shown through the clothes that so many wear, showing their pride that they have in their school and their basketball teams. As the television has not always been available for Kentucky fans to catch Kentucky sports on, they have always had to rely on the radio. Fans did not just rely on the radio alone, though. They relied on the voices of the Wildcats, the play-by-play announcers for Kentucky sports. These men are with them at every Kentucky basketball game in Rupp Arena. They've been there for all 8 national championships, and they are there for every time the football team takes the field at Commonwealth Stadium. They are your Kentucky superfans. The very first voice of the Wildcats was Claude Sullivan. He was said to give the best seat in the house to the listeners. He had a major impact on all who tuned in, and their love for him and what he did was overflowing, which is described by former UK athletic director C.M. Newton.
I remember reading somewhere that some airline pilot talked about you could always tell when Kentucky was playing because as they flew across Kentucky, every light would be on in every home listening to the Wildcats, and most of those people were listening to Claude Sullivan.
While Claude was great, he still wasn't the most popular. The most well-known voice of the Wildcats was Cawood Ledford, who was loved by people in the UK athletic department just as much as he was by the fans. This is seen in a speech by Richie Farmer given to Cawood on the last day he does play-by-play in Rupp Arena.
And on behalf of my teammates and all the players that's played here through all the years, I'd just like to say to Cawood, thanks for all the great memories and all the great times that you've been there, and we'll never forget you, and we love you.
His impact on fans was just as great as it was on UK athletics.
Well, he was before my time. My grandpa would talk about him, though, and he always called him a good one. You know, he was there with the Unforgettables, but I think his last game that he actually called was when UK got beat by Duke with the Leitner shot that's been, so memorable and horrible. But I think he was the first non-player to actually get a thing in the rafters, and that just tells you everything you need to know about him. He's legendary.
And legendary he was. His impact on sports broadcasting was unlike any other. The voice of the Wildcats today is Tom Leach, who has been on the call for some very memorable moments.
During the 2014 season when UK played Michigan in the Elite Eight, I was on a road trip to Destin, Florida, and I was worried I was going to miss the game. Luckily, I was able to pull it up on my phone and listen to it on the radio. After listening to it for a little bit, I really started to enjoy it. The energy that Tom Leach was really unique and made it feel like I was actually at the game. I distinctly remember when his excitement when Aaron Harrison made the game-winning shot that took us to the Final Four.
Leach's call on the Aaron Harrison shot just shows the fire and passion that the voices of the Wildcats have.
9 seconds, 8 seconds. Andrew hands to his brother. Aaron, top of the circle, steps back. Long three for the win. Got it! Timeout, Michigan, with 2.3 to play.
The excitement Tom Leach had at the end of that game, it still gives me chills.
Nick's story is one that is very similar to many other fans' experiences with the voice of the Wildcats that they may have listened to. As fans take pride in their team's success, the voices of the Wildcats take pride in what they do. They also respect and honor those who did it before them, especially Tom Leach and the influence Cawood Ledford had on him.
Cawood Ledford is, in every sense of the word, a legendary figure. There's a story that's told of a pilot flying over eastern Kentucky at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and notices all the lights in the homes are on, and he radios to the tower to find out what's going on, and it's because Kentucky was playing a game out in Hawaii at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. Everybody was up listening to Cawood call the game.
As each man has done their part in keeping this job respected and loved, the voices of the Wildcats are almost just as big as the sports they cover, and that is why they are all legendary University of Kentucky figures.